Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday. And we were kicking things off tonight with a little bit of That's Metal to My Ears, or as it's also known now, Marshmallow, because that's what my nephews called it. I think they know what it actually is now, but they still call it Marshmallow. So anyway, there you go. And my nephews, they're not in their 20s or anything. They are kind of 8 years old, and they 8 and 6. They're growing up fast. But anyway, yeah, that's what they used to call it. That's what they thought I was saying. So, hello, welcome everybody for this Saturday night live stream. Let me get you guys up on screen to see who is in the house tonight. We have Karen in there, Belladonna, Kevin, Lisa. Bob went through there. I think Susan and Dennis as well. Corey, Tracy, Bonnie, Francis, Billy, Bob again, Laurie, Terry, Joni, and Vince. Going through too quickly, but hello everybody. Thank you for joining me tonight. And I believe tonight is the night when the clocks change here in the UK. So that might be happening at 1 a.m. maybe. I'm not sure. I'm going to keep an eye on the clock to see if it suddenly jumps forward. In fact, I can get the names of my patrons up on screen, which, brings up the clock as well, because at the moment it's 7 minutes past midnight, as you can see, and if that changes at any point, maybe it means that I'm going to be a little bit later than I usually am, which I think that's the way it's going to go. So when we get to 1 a.m, it might suddenly become 2 a.m. here in the UK, but this is the last live stream where we're slightly out of sync, but then by Tuesday we will be fine. Right, there has been some drama over the last, 24 hours? I did a video, actually recorded a video with Shirley Lewis where we were talking about and listening to George Michael. Father Figure was the song that we were basically analysing together, and that was recorded on Wednesday night, and we were talking for over 2 hours. So then I've been editing that all together. Now the drama is that I did a post last night on Patreon saying that, actually on YouTube as well, saying that the video is going to be released tomorrow at 8 p.m, and I did upload a little bit of the video last night to check everything with copyrights, because, I mean, myself and Shirley, we were talking about it and we thought it should be fine to get through. But even if it didn't get through, because it's pretty much the definition of fair use, because the actual person who sang the song is analysing it and giving us pointers about vocal technique and all that kind of stuff, we knew that it would be fine. So I uploaded it, and sure enough, it actually got copyright blocked by Sony, and Columbia is the record label, but Sony owned Columbia. So I did the dispute, or the thing to reverse that from happening, from the block from happening. And there is an option where you can elevate the appeal so that it's just done in a lot quicker time frame. I think it's 7 days, but I think it's actually been lifted already. There's a little tick next to it now. So Sony and Columbia, both the same thing really, but they don't have a problem with it. Now where the drama comes in is that it was also claimed, like the video that we did on George Michael and Father Figure was claimed by another company. And let me see if I can find, because I put this on a tab so I can access it. It's been claimed by That's All I Want, Gargi, and when I clicked on that, and I did a bit of research, I clicked on That's All I Want, Gargi, and there's a single YouTube video that has like 8,000 views, and it's Father Figure by George Michael. So whoever this is has registered George Michael's song as their song when, of course, it isn't. But they are taking ad revenue for George Michael's Father Figure. So I tried to call up Sony today and also Columbia, but it just goes to the same message, unsurprisingly, saying that their opening hours are currently closed. It didn't make sense, the message. But basically, I mean, this is the problem that you have with the record industry in general, is that nobody's ever really working, and trying to get in touch with anyone's a nightmare. So I just wanted to let them know that somebody's claiming their ad revenue for George Michael, and it was just this one song. It just so happens that I've stumbled across this thing, that it might well be a scam that they have put through. And this is the other silly thing, that when you upload any music and you try to get publishing rights for any kind of music, you have to say that it's an original creation. And what these people have done is just raise the pitch of it ever so slightly and register the song as their song. And I was thinking, well, maybe it's from a movie or something. But then I thought, well, still that doesn't make sense, because if it was featured on a movie that I don't know about, like I tried to search for this Gargi, but I couldn't find it anywhere. But if it was a movie and then it was featured on the movie don't then own the songs that it has on it. Loads of movies have featured lots of different songs that are in the charts and from different artists, and that record labels own the publishing rights to. The movie doesn't suddenly own that now and take all ad revenue and get all of the royalties for any radio airplay that the song might get. So it's just something that's really weird. And I mentioned it to Shirley, and she hasn't heard of Gargi or That's All I Want. So yeah, it's something, unfortunately, ironically, Sony have said, yeah, everything's fine with the video. But this That's All I Want Gargi, they now have 30 days to see whether I'm breaching their copyright, which I think actually is a scam. They don't own the song. They can't own George Michael's song because they aren't George Michael and they aren't the record label. So I think it is, unfortunately, a bit of a scam where they've registered I don't know how many different songs as their own, and they're basically piggybacking on the official copyright of those companies like Sony and Columbia. So that's it, that I've got two, and it's for the same section of the video, because obviously they're claiming George Michael's song as their own. But I think this really does open my eyes to how you can abuse the system on YouTube. If you want to go through the process of registering a song that you don't own as your own, then how does, I know it's all automated, people don't listen to it, it's all done through computers, so how do they find that, oh no, that's a scam, somebody who's trying to claim that is actually a scam because it is this person's song and it isn't being shared? So yeah, I wanted to get in touch with Sony just to clarify from them that they're just this one song. It could be happening across the board, that this company might be claiming loads of different artists' songs on the Sony label as theirs, but maybe Sony don't know about it, because it certainly is strange that it's something that I've never heard of, something that Shirley's never heard of, and she's actually on the song. So yeah, it's a shame that I couldn't speak to Sony, but maybe I can do in the future. And I don't know if anybody's heard of That's All I Want Gargi, because apparently that's Father Figure by George Michael. Apparently this is the same song, and of course it can't be, because there's only one version of it that is registered, and that's George Michael. So yeah, maybe it is an Indian company, I know, that have been, well, as far as I've followed it, it's an Indian company who are in charge of claiming these copyrights, or this copyright. And I've seen loads of videos on YouTube about Indian call centers, where they set up loads of call centers and try and scam people out of money. So yeah, I don't know what's going on here, whether it's something that is flying under the radar under the title of an official company. Let me see if I can click on this for a little bit more. I can't get any more details, but there was a company name, and I can't remember what the company was, but it was an official company. It was an internet site, and I think their channel has like 72 million subscribers or something. So it's a huge channel. I think they stream Indian music. So that's the company, or the company header, that it has been put under as being a copyright claim for. So I'm wondering if some scammers have just used that company name, registered it, and all of the claims then are attributed to this professional company who might have nothing to do with the scam that's going on. So yeah, the only annoying thing is that I'm hoping it won't stop the video from getting released, but if the video is stopped from getting released tomorrow night, it's because I have to wait for this potential scam company to unblock it. And yeah, I don't know whether to get in touch with YouTube as well, but I'm not sure that they can do anything with it because it's all automated, that it is on their system registered as being owned by this company. But we know it's not owned by this company because that's not the record label that actually made the song or the artist who wrote the song and performed the song. So yeah, a bit of drama, and that's all happened in the last 24 hours. So yeah, it's all been a little bit busy, but we will jump into tonight's live stream, of course. I'm still aiming to release the video tomorrow night at 8 p.m. So fingers crossed that it does go through. We will see. I have set it up. And, you know, on YouTube, I can see that the part of the video that was getting blocked is now not getting blocked. So it should go through tomorrow. I'll keep an eye on it tomorrow as well. But yeah, we will see. I mean, I hope that it does go through because, yeah, it's great to have a chat with Shirley. And this is just part one of, I don't know how many parts it's going to turn into, but the time just flies. Like when I was editing it, I actually watched it the whole way through to make sure that that it was fine. And now if there are any mistakes in it, I've just exposed the fact that I haven't actually yet noticed it watching it through, but I have watched it through. Obviously I have a little bit of a final edit tomorrow just to make double sure, but even just watching sections through, I didn't realize that, yeah, I've been watching it for like 10 minutes or 15 minutes because the time seems to fly, especially when you're talking to somebody like Shirley who's talking to you about George Michael and singing with him in the studio and what he used to do and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was great to have a chat with Shirley, but I think it's great to have that kind of video on the channel as well. It's going to be a part one. I don't know whether it will be a part one and then just a part two, or whether there'll be a part three. I do not know. It depends how long or how short I can actually make the long conversation that we had, because that was for over 2 hours in the end. So I will be trying to, yeah, cut it down and make it as concise as possible. Anyway, let me mention about the fact, well, the small fact that we are aiming for 395 likes tonight, and that is the largest total that we've ever aimed for. So, I mean, it is a ridiculous amount of likes that we're aiming for. 395. So, if you could hit that thumbs up as you come through the door, it's a little bit late to be coming through the door, 17 minutes past midnight, but if you could leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be massively appreciated to see if we can get anywhere close to that target by the end of the live stream. And we are at 233 likes for tonight so far, and yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Is that 160 likes we needed? or it's jumped up. So anyway, whatever I was working out for, I think 245 made it almost easier to try and work out. So yeah, now we're aiming for, I do not know, because it's too much for me to work out. The other huge news that we had, which I'm trying to look for here, and I'm going to, I was trying to just edit that on the fly, it didn't quite work. But anyway, the thing that was going to show up on screen was the fact that we hit 295,000 subscribers on the channel. So, a massive thank you to you guys for subscribing, hitting that notification bell as well. That's an important part of getting notified for the videos. But, I mean, a huge number, still 5,000 off 300,000, but I mean 5,000 is a lot of people, and I mean just 1,000 is a lot of people. So, yeah, anytime that we hit a new number, we just have it on the live stream. So, a massive thank you to you. We will keep on keeping on and see where we end up, but let's get that off the screen and mute all of those cheering people. Right, now another thing that I do say on the live streams is that you don't have to donate, just watching is great. Maybe hitting the thumbs up, leaving a comment as well. Introduce yourself into that live chat room if this is your first live stream, because then we all get to know each other and just get used to each other's usernames going through that live chat room. And I mean, a Saturday night and a Tuesday night is the only time I get to interact with you guys in a live setting, so I can see you all going through that live chat room. And there we can see Reed and Julesy and Laurie, Charlie about to go through, Rocker Girl as well, and Ro. And the great thing is that I know all of these usernames, and Rocket Girl, who we've seen in the pictures, I sometimes show pictures on the live streams, Ro going through, who I remember was a top tip, of course, didn't win the pick roulette. This is another thing that we have later on in the live stream, the pick roulette, which we will be having on later tonight. But you can get involved with that yourselves. If we do hit the pick roulette likes goal, it means that we're going to have a pick roulette next week, and that's when you can get your name on that wheel at the end of tonight's live stream if we hit that target. So we're looking for those thumbs up. If you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, it would be much appreciated if you could do that. It helps the live stream to get out there a little bit more, but for the channel to grow on the whole, as I always say. Quick shout out to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook, because that's where I am linked to the pictures by Laura. So thank you for that. And we do have, I think, a picture or two tonight that we'll be looking at a little bit later on. Let's get another piece of business out the way. We have the cover video for tonight being voted on as we speak. And, Rose going through saying, I won the next week. So, this is always the case that we get close, but we never quite get there when the person is the top tip. We've been within one segment on the wheel before of the top tip winning, but it hasn't happened so far. Maybe tonight's the night. But anyway, what was I just saying about, the vote at the top of that live chat room. So it's between I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight and You Know My Name. So those are the two. I can only ever see the one that's winning, which is I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight. 61% of the vote. So click on that, and whichever one of those you want to hear, make sure you have your vote, and then we'll look at whichever one wins. And I did see something about, maybe it was my imagination, but about who owns George Michael's songs. And I think this is probably going to vary depending on which label he was with or which contract he was under at that time. I know that Father Figure was released in 1987. I believe. So yeah, that would have been back in the Columbia days. So as for copyrights and who owns it, all that kind of stuff, it can get quite complicated. But I know that, George, specifically, George had a lot of problems with record labels, but also his contracts where they were just totally unreasonable, and they wouldn't let him out of particular contracts and all that kind of stuff, and it got quite complicated. And I think a lot of people actually knew about that when it was in the news back in the day. But anyway, we are going to be pushing forward with tonight's live stream. I always feel like I've forgotten to do something really important. I don't know what that is, and it's going to be a little bit later on maybe that we find out. But we will jump into the donations that came through before we went live, and what I might do is just have a double check to see if anything happened in that live chat room or the super chat window, because I know that it used to disappear, but then it didn't disappear. So I know that there have been donations over in the PayPal window. So thank you guys for those. Let me just double check over here. Let's have a click on that and see actually what the date is today. It's the 26th of March. So we are up to date in the super chat window, I do believe. I just mentioned the last one in there. Tortoro Porco donated $2.20 saying, can't stay for stream, but here in spirits, beer. So yeah, thank you for that. In case I missed that at the end of the last live stream, I seem to remember Tortoro Porco certainly being in the live stream if I didn't address that particular donation. But let's jump into the PayPal window, and Laurie donated £15.63. So thank you for that, Laurie. And the message was happy birthday. So thank you for that. It's not my birthday yet. Still got a few weeks to go. But yeah, thank you for the early birthday wishes. And let's get into the next one. It was Steve who donated £25. So thank you for that, Steve. And the message was, Phil, you continue to do a fantastic job. Thanks for all you do and the effort and time you put into providing a great service and much needed entertainment. It all is, and especially you are greatly appreciated. With some rock horns. So thank you for that, Steve. And yeah, it's quite small on the screen, so I think I didn't quite read that correctly at the end. It all is, and especially much needed entertainment. It all is, and especially you are greatly appreciated. So thank you for that, Steve. I don't know whether that's me reading it incorrectly with the wrong emphasis, or whether it's not quite in the right order. But anyway, thank you for the donation. Roderick donated £3 as well. Thank you for that, Roderick. And just moving forward, Nicole donated £10 and 2 pence. So thank you for that, Nicole. And that was actually on Thursday at 8:30. And the message was, "Hello, Phil. For all beautiful moments of music spent with you, kisses and cheers, dear Phil." So thank you for that. And there's another donation from Nicole that came in straight afterwards. Actually, no, that was on Saturday. So early this morning, 6 minutes past 8. So thank you for this, Nicole. It was £10 and 21 pence. The message is, "Hello, Phil. I think it's soon the second French Revolution. Also, I prefer to look towards the island of Britannia. Thank you for your funny and musical live stream. Take care, Phil. Lots of love." So thank you again for that, Nicole. And Lisa W has donated £10. So thank you for that. And the message is, "Hello, Phil and Wingers. Tonight I am at my 17th Bruce Springsteen concert in Greensboro, North Carolina. Have a fun live stream. Catch you later. Rock." So thank you for that, Lisa. The donation, Lisa, is obviously going to be in the catch-up crew. And if you are part of that catch-up crew, hello, you can still hit that thumbs up. It helps in the stream getting out there, the channel growing, all that kind of stuff, even if you don't hit that thumbs up live. But the thumbs up live, or the thumbs up that we get live, are the ones that count towards the Pick Roulette likes goal. We have to hit that live. So it means that we are closely watching that number, that likeometer that's kind of over there, 306, which means we're looking for 89. Is that correct? Hopefully it is. Fingers crossed that the maths is correct tonight. So yeah, hit that thumbs up if you do get a chance. Oh, let me have a plug of the mug, or at least one of the mugs. I always forget to do this, but there we go. Wings of Pegasus mug. If you want to get your hands on one of these, then you can click on the tray underneath this video. If you have the merchandise there, it will take you through to the spring store. But if you don't have the tray underneath this video, then there's a link in the description below, so you can click on that to get your hands on any of the Wings of Pegasus merchandise. Now, yeah, another thing that's happened is the Mugabe guitar has arrived, and I will be doing a video on that. I'm not sure when, maybe next week or within the next couple of weeks. So yeah, look out for that on the channel. Again, make sure you're subscribed so that you get notified for all of the videos, the analysis videos, live streams. But yeah, cool videos like the one that we're going to be looking at tomorrow, hopefully, fingers crossed, if the copyright thing is okay. But the Mugabe guitar video as well, because that's going to be an interesting one, because I have been in the market for a practice guitar, and I remember seeing these things where it was literally just not a plank of wood, but like a guitar neck, and it's kind of only this size, but it was just for kind of practicing on it, but it didn't have any way of, you know, making sound. It didn't have a resonance chamber, it didn't have a body to it. So it's literally just for practicing putting your fingers on the fretboard of a guitar. But what I liked about this particular guitar when they messaged me is that it's got its own amplifier actually attached to it. So you don't even need an amplifier, you don't need a lead. You can literally play, and it's not even plug and play, it's just play, just turn it on and go. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting video to look at. I don't usually do sponsored videos, but that was one of those things and one of those kind of inventions that I had my eye on in the past, looking for a similar kind of thing. But you know, something that I think when traveling, it could be great. I mean, even busking, you know, if you haven't got an amplifier, you could just take your guitar with you and it's got an amp on it, so you just turn it on and start playing and start singing. And I think you can connect a mic to it as well and maybe record that, but I'm still yet to uncover all of its functions, so obviously I will do that in the review video that I do. But yeah, keep an eye out for that one, and I'm looking forward to that one as well, just seeing what the guitar's all about. But Right, let's get back on track because there has been another donation and this has come through from Paul for $2. So thank you for that, Paul. And the message is 295k, hooray. Spike the likes, all y'all, peace, OSK. So thank you for that, Paul. And just going to be going through because we have Orlando who has donated £2 as well. So thank you for that, Orlando. And the message is, spike the likes, fellow wingers, rock. And then, hi, Paul. So thank you for that, Orlando. And Constance donated £5 as well. Thank you for that, Constance. And the message is, hi, Phil and wingers. This is for the Hard Drive Fund, rock. So thank you for that. Yes, certainly the Hard Drive Fund is one of those funds that is constantly being not borrowed from but used from, because keeping all of my analysis videos on hard drives, one after the next, especially actually with the interview videos when I'm kind of recording maybe 2 hours plus of footage, it does fill up hard drives very quickly. So but thank you for that, Constance. And Tammy donated £20. Thank you for that, Tammy. And this was at 9:30 earlier this evening, so getting a little bit more up to date. And that was a straight up donation, so thank you for that, Tammy. And Robert has donated £25, so thank you for that, Robert. And the message was and is some bread for your Phil Jam, Joan and Robert. So thank you for that, Joan and Robert. And some bread for my Phil Jam. We might be having a Phil Jam a little bit later on. We will see what happens, but generally they tend to happen if we do hit the Pick Roulette likes goal. It gives you guys a little bit longer to enter in for next week's Pick Roulette. So, we will see 322 likes so far. So, if you haven't used your thumbs up yet, it'd be much appreciated if you could do that in order to try and reach that all-time high target of 395. So it would be a new record if we do hit 395 tonight. So extra incentive to try and get as many likes as we can. Right, just past 30 minutes past midnight here in the UK. And at 1 a.m. I might jump forward by an hour. We'll keep an eye on that clock to see what happens. So technically we'll be ending tonight at 2:15 in the morning here in the UK. And then I've got to try and get my body clock adjusted to then having, lost an hour? So so now when you wake up, it's going to be an hour later than it was. So I'm going to have to try and, that means that you're potentially losing an hour's sleep. And I can't afford to lose any more hours sleep. So I'll have to try and deal with that. Maybe just have an early night tonight or something. That never usually happens. But anyway, thank you, Robert, for that donation that I just referenced. And Karen donated £3.90 as well. So thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, hi, Phil, from the Book of Questions. Let me see if I can get this on screen because this was just before we went live. So we're a little bit more up to date now. And let's scroll down so we can see the message. Hi, Phil, from the Book of Questions. Given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as your dinner guest, as your close friend? I look forward to your interview with Shirley. Thanks for all you do. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that, Karen. And given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as your dinner guest? I don't know. I don't know whether they would want to eat my dinner. It'll probably just have to be, we'll have to order a pizza or something. But who would I have? I don't know. I've never ever spent any time thinking about this. I mean, other than my answer that I always give, which is Jimi Hendrix, which I think would be an interesting dinner guest, or as your close friend. I don't know. I think this is something that I'd have to spend a long time thinking about, because having a dinner guest is fine, but then having a close friend, it means that you've got to know that person really well in order to trust them as a close friend. And if you've never met somebody before, then you can't really know that you can trust them or not. So I don't have an answer for that question, that second part of the question, unfortunately, but I'd go for Jimi Hendrix as a single dinner guest. So thank you for that, Karen. And let me just move over because there has been another donation, and this is come through from Maria for £1.56. So thank you for that, Maria. And the message is, hi Phil, time changes at 1 a.m. your time. Spike those likes, everyone. So great idea. Hit that thumbs up if you get a chance. 3:39. It is moving along. I've got the problem when I try and point to the likeometer, I'm going to smack into the microphone, so I can't really do it properly apart from maybe trying to do that. I just reminded myself of E.T. kind of holds this finger out really weirdly, like I was just doing then. But it's all reversed on the screen. That's my excuse as for why I can never point at things accurately. Anyway, thank you for that, Maria. And Deborah has donated £12.95. Thank you for that, Deborah. And the message is, congratulations, Phil. 5,000 subscribers to go, and you reach 300,000. Spike the likes and plug the mug. So thank you for that, Deborah. You can never plug the mug too much. There we go, and there we have it. As I said, merchandise tray below and link in the description below. We also have merchandise over at wingsofpegasus.com/merch, and that's Carla's merchandise over there, such as the guitar pick, earrings and necklaces, all that kind of stuff, and just guitar picks if you do play the guitar and you want to get your hands on a Wings of Pegasus pick. So yeah, head over there. Right, now 36 minutes past midnight. Where are we at with the vote for tonight's cover video? I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight, I can see, has 60% of the vote so far. And let me maybe do one of these. Franco has donated $5. Thank you for that. I didn't spot that in the super chat window. And the message is, happy for your success. With peace. So thank you for that, Franco, and thanks for tuning in, watching the videos, but also making it to a live stream, because it's great to interact with you guys in a live setting. Let me see, and I can see right at the bottom of the live chat room, Bonnie says, and soon chocolate. This is the other thing that is on the horizon for the channel. We have some Wings of Pegasus chocolate coming along. And as soon as that is available, I'll let you guys know on the live streams, and that's Carla that's organising all that as well. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Now, as for there's loads of things going on at the moment. As for the toys and the bobblehead things, that's something that might be happening in the future, but at the moment I'm not going to be able to chase it up or do anything with it for the next week or two, because I have Shirley's first video, but also the other parts of the video that I need to edit together, and then I have this sponsorship with Mugabe that I'm gonna have to do soon as well. So yeah, I can't jump into that because things are just crazy busy at the moment, but I will be addressing that maybe in a couple of weeks time, maybe a few weeks time. And of course I'll let you guys know on the live streams, but if you want to stay in the loop, then I am on Patreon every night. This is the site, patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus, and I always say that that is the foundation of the channel and everything that I do. These lovely people at the bottom of the screen, they are my patrons and they make everything possible. So thank you guys, you know who you are, for all of your support over there. And yeah, on patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus, you can message me directly if you want to over there, because I check those messages every evening. Right, well, I say every evening. Technically, it's really early in the morning here, but yeah, I always do it at the same time. So, what was I going to do? I was going to maybe do this question thing, Q&A. Let me start a Q&A and say, ask me a question, please. Right, let's start that. And I know that it goes a little bit weird. Yeah, everything kind of disappears. And then we go back to the chat room. Okay, I think when I go back into the chat room, it then registers that I've left the chat room and then I've come back in. So then it says, welcome to live chat again. So anyway, yeah, the Q&As, I've started that. Whether I'll be able to answer a lot of them or not, generally, if we have a little bit of spare time, then I can jump into it. So yeah, if we do have some space a little bit later on, then we will get into that. Maybe, I mean, it's only 20 to 1. It feels like it's a little bit early to jump into the cover video for tonight. Let's have a look. I tell you what, let me just have a look at the questions that are coming through immediately if I can find the button to click on. Let's see, questions. Okay, here we go. Joe says, what was your first album or concert? Right. I think first album was Boston. First concert. I've probably answered this before, but off the top of my head, I can't remember what it was. And I know that I went to see The Darkness, but I know that how old was I then? I was in my teenage years, but I think I was in my late teens. I'm trying to think if I've been to see another band before that. The reason that I remember that was because it was at Wembley Arena. So it was like a proper concert rather than just going to like a gig. I had been to kind of gig things before, but I can't remember. So yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's a long time ago now, trying to remember back. So yeah, I'd have to say The Darkness, even though I know that I was in my late teens when I went to see them. So Rose says, how's your arm today? So, and I know that in the live chat room, everything has disappeared because I'm in the questions section. So let me quickly get into this one. So how's your arm today? And then Mar says, watching any TV? I try and remember that question. So TV, and then how my arm is. So let's get back into the live chat room. So my arm is pretty much doing better. And I think it's at this kind of crossover point now where I'm still doing my physio exercises where I have to kind of use my arm outstretched and then I pull away in order to kind of use muscles going that way. But now I've started pulling the other way, which is something that, I never could do because it hurt on the tendon. And now it's not hurting on the tendon. I think it's now just building up the wrist flexors and the muscles in the top of my forearm so that they're strengthening. So this is why I'd say, fingers crossed, day on day, it feels like it's getting stronger and I'm not getting as many twinges. I know that my arm is getting a few twinges now and again, but it's like nerve twinges and it's not the tendon. So I think, fingers crossed, I mean, considering the fact that when I did it was September, October of 2021, now we're in 2023, fingers crossed that is long enough for the tendon to actually heal itself. And it has been a very long time, and they do say it's usually between 6 months and a year for the kind of injury that I had. So I'm hoping that the tendon's recovered. So now it's just a case of trying to get the nerves into kind of the right channels where they should be, because I know that particular movements I will get a nerve kind of feeling in my arm. So the other thing that I think might help is simulating a golf swing or moving my arm in that direction, because like I said, the physio that I'm doing is moving the arm in that direction, and because I'm right-handed, doing a golf swing I think is going to move it in that direction. But yeah, obviously I'm not getting back into golf just yet, but I'm building up. I mean, hopefully I might be able to do working out, but I think maybe just doing a golf swing is going to be probably a wiser choice than going straight into resistance training again, and even kind of doing too much resistance exercise. I'm going to take it one step at a time. So yeah, I'm just seeing how it goes, but it does feel like it's getting better, and fingers crossed that the tendon is okay. It's now just a case of strengthening my arm. Anyway, yeah, thank you for that. And then the other question, any TV, what am I watching on TV? The thing that I have watched on TV recently is The Last of Us, which is a computer game that I used to play. And I was interested to watch the series because I knew the computer game really well, and it's one of those games that, I played through it kind of the first time, just as the game normally is, and then I played through it on a harder setting, because this is the thing that I like, and probably why I like to try and play golf, or did used to play golf before my arm put stop to that. Anyway, I think the reason that I like those kind of things is that it's a challenge, like especially golf. It's a very difficult game to play and get good at. But The Last of Us I played, and then I put it on a harder setting, and then a version of the game came out, and it was called something like grounded difficulty, where it was like the hardest thing ever, like the settings on the game, and lots of people just couldn't complete it because they said it's just too difficult. And whenever somebody says that a game can't be completed because it's too difficult, of course I have to complete it. So I then completed the game on that super difficult setting. So it means that, anyway, I knew the game really well. So when they did a TV series, I wanted to watch it because I knew the game so well and wanted to see how it kind of compared to the TV series. So yeah, I watched that. And I'd say that the TV series is definitely more of a focus on, the relationships, even though the game had a fair amount of focus on the relationships and it was a good story. There's a lot of, obviously, killing clickers and zombies and all that kind of stuff. But I'd say that on the TV version, it's not really as much about that. You're just aware of the danger that's in the world. I also like the fact that I know that, especially my dad, whenever you mention about zombies, he goes, oh, he just thinks that the idea of zombies is stupid. But what I like about The Last of Us is that it is based in a way on science, a kind of theoretical hypothesis about what would happen if this particular mushroom bacteria or fungus, it's a fungus that attaches itself to the brains of a particular animal, of which I can't remember whether it might be a rat or a mouse or something, but the fungus attaches itself to the brain of the host and starts controlling the animal because the fungus is now in control. So they do say that if it actually spread to humans, if it made that jump, at the moment it can't infect humans, but if it could, then it would control the brains of the humans. That it, it's starting to sound like something very scary, but theoretically that's what would happen, and that's what The Last of Us is based on, that if it made that jump to now being able to infect humans. So I like the fact that, I kind of don't like it because I don't like to think about it, but I like the fact that it's at least got a scientific basis to it. It's not just random zombies and just saying, oh, but why are people suddenly turning into zombies? And the answer is, oh, because. And there's no believable reason for it, whereas this is actually a believable reason for it because it is already in science and something that happens. So anyway, moving forward with tonight's live stream, but again, computer games, all that kind of stuff. I don't talk about TV series too much, but yeah, all these kinds of things that we talk about on the live streams, this is the only time that we would talk about them on the channel, but I do find it all very interesting. But thank you Nalita as well, who donated $10 and says, why do you think some great artists seem to be forgotten and some artists who are mediocre are constantly remembered? So thank you for that, Nalita. And that was a very complicated question. There are some artists, that are great artists who never really get well known at all. There are millions of fantastic musicians, some people that don't even do it professionally, but they are at a really high technical level of either playing an instrument or singing. So, it's just really the luck of the draw, whether people actually get a break or not. And if they don't get a break, is whether they can then spend as much time as is required to get your name out there. And it's literally a full-time thing. If you've got a full-time job, you've got to then come home and get stuck into trying to promote your music career, whatever you're doing. So yeah, more often than not, you will need a job, a full-time job, to just fund your career, everything that you want to do anyway. So it is, very difficult in the first place. But yeah, some great artists never really get the light of day. There's some great artists who make a bit of an impact and might have one or two hits, but then, might get forgotten about a little bit. But then you'll get more artists who, for me, it's all about songs. Like if you have a song that's a hit, then you'll be known for that particular song. But if you have songs that are well known, then you tend to be remembered for a very long time, because you might have 5 or 6 or 7 songs that people can all relate to, and they heard that particular song at some point in their life. So it means that whenever they hear it, they get taken back to that point in their life, so it'll always be relevant. And more often than not, if the parents are listening to those particular songs, the kids then listen to those songs when they're growing up, which means that, like now, I'm listening to songs, and I have listened to songs my whole life that I remember listening to as a kid. So it just goes through those generations. So it just tends, I mean, saying as well that some artists are mediocre and some are great, again, that's subjective. So nobody can ever say that one artist is mediocre, because somebody who might not be technically gifted at either playing the guitar or singing might connect with people on an artistic level more than somebody who's got a great voice and is great technically. And again, great is subjective. But if I'm saying they sing to a high level technically and they play to a high level technically, but they don't have very good songs, they might not connect to as many people as the person who is, I don't know, more talented with the art form. And again, that's something that sometimes you can't really teach that. You can't put your finger on what that is, because if you could, everyone would be a multi-million selling artist and would be able to connect with everybody on a huge scale. So yeah, it's very much a subjective thing. You can't say that one person's better than another with music. But anyway, thank you for that, Nalita. Mike has donated £5 as well. Thank you for that, Mike. And the message is, what's your favourite science fiction book, song? So thank you for that, Mike. I don't really read any books. It just takes me too long. I'm much more of a visual kind of person. So watching videos and watching movies, I enjoy doing that. But yeah, reading books is something that, because I read quite slowly as well, it would just take me too long to read a book, and I don't really have the time to actually watch a movie version of a book, let alone read a whole book. So yeah, it's not something I ever really got into. I've only read, I think, one book, Papillon, which is a book about a guy who was put in jail and then was trying to escape, and he didn't commit the crime in the first place, but then spent years and years and years in jail. And I think that was made into a movie. Actually, a couple of movies. Did it have Steve McQueen in it? It might have, the original movie, and then they released a newer one, and I can't remember who was in that one. But anyway, yes, so that is one book, the one book that I have read, and I read that when I was in my teenage years. It took me a very long time to read it, but you know, when you're a teenager and you're at school, you've got more time. So anyway, thank you for that, Mike. Oh, a science fiction song. Okay, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a science fiction song, because I mean, songs just tend to be songs. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think of something for that. I mean, the first thing that popped into my mind was Red Dwarf, the TV series, because that's got a song on there that, yeah, is, I guess, a science fiction song. I don't know, but yeah, that's more of a cult TV comedy show that is here in the UK. But yeah, I'm just trying to think. What about Space Oddity? Does that count? I don't know. As a science fiction song, I guess it could be called that. I don't know. So anyway, thank you for that, Mike. Marianne donated $19.99 as well. So thank you for that. It is a straight up donation. We will jump into tonight's cover video. So let me bring the poll to a close, and I think it might be I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight. And yeah, it just went through. I just caught it there, which had 61% of the vote. So thank you guys for voting for tonight's cover video. We will jump into this, then get into some pictures, then get into tonight's pick roulette. Where are we at with the likes? We're looking for 14 more people in that live chat room to hit the thumbs up. If you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, it'd be much appreciated if you could do that, so that we can have a pick roulette next week. So yeah, maybe we can spike the likes while this is playing. That's a new record, by the way, if we do hit 395. But I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you guys after. Rock.
The curtains are closed, the cat's in a cradle. Who'd have thought that a boy like me could come to this? Whoa, I just died in your arms tonight. Must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. Whoa, I just died in your arms tonight. Must have been some kind of kiss. I should have walked away. I should have walked away. Is there any just cause we're feeling like this? On the surface of a name on the list, I try to be discreet, but then blow it again. I've lost and found, it's my final mistake. She's loving by proxy, no give and no take. Cause I've been dreaming to fantasy one too many times. Whoa, I just died in your arms tonight. Must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. Whoa, I just died in your arms tonight. Must have been some kind of kiss. I should have walked away. I should have walked away. It was a long, hard night. She made it easy, she made it feel right. But now it's over, the moment is gone. I follow my hands, not my head. I know I was I just died in your arms tonight. Must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. Whoa, I just died in your arms tonight. Must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. Whoa, I just died in your arms tonight. Must have been some kind of kiss. I should have walked away. I should have walked away.
And there we have it. That was my version of I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you for voting for that song as tonight's cover video, and to you guys over on Patreon for even requesting it in the first place. Right, I'll quickly just jump into the PayPal window because we had another donation in there, and Orlando has donated £2. So thank you for that. I can see it's a really long message. So let's get into the pictures first, and I will jump back into that donation window. Right. Where are we at with the pictures? I think we've just got a couple to get through tonight. So let's have a little scroll down and make sure that I can find where this is. Right. Here is, actually is two pictures of the same ornament that has been made by Brenda. So thank you for sending this one in, Brenda. And it has the Wings of Pegasus signed pick, which we know because if I remove this one and turn it over, there it is, the signature. So that means that Brenda has won a pick roulette in the past. That's the only way that you can get your hands on the signed Wings of Pegasus pick. So thank you, Brenda, for sending that one in, and Laura for linking me to this one. And yes, just those pictures for tonight. If you guys want to get involved, you've got any merchandise, if you are lucky enough to win a signed Wings of Pegasus pick, then you can take a pic of your pick if you want to and upload it to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook. If you are indeed a Facebook user, you can join in with that group, and that's where I will get linked to them. So yes, we can see that it's now 1 minute past 2 in the morning here in the UK. So I've just teleported myself an hour later on, which means I'm really going to have to bring this live stream to a close because we're an hour over where we should be. Anyway, we'll keep on going till 1:15 or whenever we usually do it, depending on the length of the backing track from when we have the fill jam, which, by the way, we have hit our target of 395. We're at 410 now. Likes. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. Of course, you can keep on doing that. Now, the entries for next week's pick roulette haven't opened yet because they open after we've done the pick roulette. But just before we do that, let's get into this message from Orlando that says, if I could choose 3 guitar legends you could dine with, I would choose Eddie Van Halen, Stevie Ray Vaughan and Randy Rhoads. A bonus on a guest would be B.B. King. Chef Gordon Ramsay can cater the dinner. Anyway, my question is, have you ever done an analysis video on Randy Rhoads? Rock! So thank you for that, Orlando. And yes, Randy is on the channel somewhere quite a while ago, but I mean, the problem, unfortunately, is just the footage that is not available of Randy, and a lot of people have said that that's, you know, Sharon Osbourne who's controlling that, and there is more footage that isn't allowed to see the light of day. But yeah, as for that, I don't know how much there is or how much there isn't. It's just a shame that there isn't more of Randy Rhoads that we can see. So yeah, a bit of a shame, but yeah, thank you for that donation. I think Gordon Ramsay, he is somebody that I do watch now and again, his kitchen nightmares. The only problem would be obviously the language, but then again, if he's got good staff and if he's just cooking it himself, then hopefully he wouldn't be swearing too much. But yeah, I mean, some of those kitchen nightmares shows, what is ridiculous about it is that people are asking for his help. So when he comes in and he says, look, your food's rubbish, they say, I don't agree with that. I think that we've got great food and nobody ever complains about it. You say, well, why are you asking for his help if you already think you're fine and you don't need any help? So anyway, yeah, it's often very dramatic on those shows, but I do like to catch one of those now and again if ever I can do. But right, let's get into tonight's pick roulette. Top tip, somebody needs to sacrifice themselves in that live chat room, so I'm going to be having a little look into there. If you want to be the top tip for tonight's pick roulette, just let me know. I'll have a look in the live chat room, pick out somebody at random. But for the moment, we're going to be jumping into tonight's pick roulette. So let's get into it, and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock. So let's get the wheel up on screen, and there it is. If this is your first live stream, but if this is your first pick roulette as well, the darker segments of the t-shirts, if we land on one of those, then we have a t-shirt roulette. If we land on somebody's name, then they go away with a signed Wings Pegasus pick, which you can see in the middle of the wheel. So I can see that. Okay, Joe Flip, I just saw saying me. So Joe Flip is, I mean, it's kind of almost my name. Joe Flip is the top tip for tonight on the pick roulette wheel. And let's give the wheel a spin and see who is going to win. I always say double your chances of winning by tuning in on the Tuesday night as well, because if we hit the target, then we have the pick roulette likes goal, the target that we set, then we do have a pick roulette the next week on a Tuesday as well as a Saturday. Right, we are slowing down, and oh, this is getting towards t-shirt territory, I think. Maybe just a little bit further. It's going to be Laura or Kevin. And it's going to be Kevin. Sometimes you never know when it's going to stop. It seems to go on for a lot longer sometimes, or a lot longer on one time and then not on another time. Anyway, congratulations to you, Kevin. You have won the signed Wings of Pegasus pick. If you can let yourself be known to Carla in the live chat room, that would be great. You know the drill. So that she can get all the details from you in order to get that signed Wings of Pegasus pick sent off to you. Right, commiserations everybody else, including Joe Flip, whose night wasn't her night, and I maintain my record of having a 0% winning spree. Which isn't a spree at all. But I suppose it's just 0% winning all the time. But maybe one day it will happen. Commiserations to everybody else as well. But the great thing is that there's going to be a pick roulette next week because we have hit the target for tonight. So I'm going to open the entries for tonight's pick, not tonight's pick roulette, but tonight's entries for next week's pick roulette. So what you need to do is type in the comment section or the live chat room at Carla. I'm going to make sure that I do this correctly because I always say it's got to be exact. Capital C, capital M, Carla Murray. I agree. I mean, the I agree doesn't have to be in capitals, but I'll do it anyway. And like that. So you'll be able to see that going through the live chat room soon. You'll be able to see lots of people doing that. So if you haven't been on the pick roulette wheel before, just copy what everyone's about to do in the live chat room and you will be fine. And make sure that you type it exactly as I typed it. So at Carla Murray with a capital C, capital M, space between it, and then I agree. It has to be typed like that so Carla does get that notification that you have entered. Right. 7 minutes past 2. I'm going to have to get used to seeing that too, but only for tonight. The rest of the live streams will be fine. Right, let me get into the Phil Jam so that you guys have a little bit of a chance to enter in for next week's pick roulette. Let me see. I'm not too organised with this. Right, what have we had before? For the backing tracks, what did we have last time? I think we had like a hard rock one. Was it the first hard rock one? I can't remember, but I think it was. So I'm going to say first, I didn't make a note of this last time. First hard rock one. And we had the very 80s one, I think. Right, let's just go down and see what we can see. Okay. Ever see that movie Marley and Me? Okay, that's actually about a dog. But so right, let's click on that. I haven't seen the movie Marley and Me, so I don't know whether actually I might know what this is going to be. Oh, hang on, what am I doing here? Let me click on that. It's taking a bit of time to load. There's an advert. Let me mute that. Okay, right. This is going to be, once the adverts stop playing, a dub reggae backing track. This is something that was mentioned. I remember Joe said this in a comment. He said, can you do the reggae one or something? And I said, I didn't know which one the reggae was. But now I know which one it is. So we're going to be jumping, I think, the first reggae backing track that we've done for the Phil Jams. So we're going to be jumping into it. I have to move back a little bit. And I'm going to lean down. It's grabbing. Well, the Fender Strat should be okay for this. I mean, it's good that it wasn't the Gem, because that's generally for the heavier stuff. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to have to just see if you can hear that. Okay, right. I'm just trying to get a clean tone because reggae... I don't think reggae is going to be super duper heavy, but anyway, let's have a listen to this. And this is from YouTube Jam Tracks, or YT in capital letters, Jam Tracks on YouTube, of course. YT Jam Tracks dub reggae backing track in E minor, B minor. Right, so let's have a little listen to this and see what happens. Let me know if the levels are okay. Oh, raise my chair. Okay. Yeah, I think it might just be this. It just says E minor, B minor. Wow, for over 10 minutes. Okay. I've actually got a bit of auto wah on my guitar, so it's in effect like a preset that I've fallen onto, which is great. Actually sounds quite good. It's almost got that. It's got that kind of vibe to it. It's a bit slow. Name that tune in the live chat room. Name this tune. Okay, if it was faster, make it faster. Okay, right. On YouTube you can do a faster speed. This might be disastrous. Okay, 1.25. Okay, which means it won't last as long. So here we go. Oh, Dreedy says get up, stand up. Yeah, that's what I was going for that little riff. Type I agree, tag Carla Murray in your comment to get your name on next week's Pick Roulette Wheel. Don't know how long this is going on for. Oh, it's only like 20 seconds. Oh, and there we have it. And it actually ended on, oh, just a straight B minor. So anyway, yeah, so ending on the E. Never mind, we didn't know when it was going to end. But some of the backing tracks have ended mightily quickly and suddenly. So that wasn't too bad, that one. Anyway, there we go. Bit of reggae for tonight. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this live stream. If you have, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I never say that on the live streams, but if you want to subscribe, that'd be great. Hit that notification bell as well. We are going to be hopefully here tomorrow night with that video with Shirley. So keep an eye out for that one. And that's going to be 8 p.m. And that's my time, Greenwich Mean Time. So yeah. Looking forward to that particular video. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight, and a huge shout out to the moderators as well for doing such a fantastic job, and yeah, keeping that live chat room such a great place to be. So I'm going to be live streaming again on Tuesday night, of course, so hopefully I'll see you guys then, and hitting the new record for tonight, 395. Thank you guys for those thumbs up. If you are part of the catch-up crew watching this in the future, then you can hit that thumbs up. It really does help the live stream to get out there and for the channel to grow a little bit more. So I'll see you guys live again on Tuesday night, and I'll see you at tomorrow night's video. Try to stay as safe and as sane as possible, as I always say, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!